This is Stephen and Darren's Hump Day Tech Spectacular.
On 99.3 WLRZ, The Lair.
I've got a story saying that there are 1 billion hectares worldwide that have been planted with genetically modified crops. How does that make you feel?
Kind of strange, but I don't really know what you're talking about.
Okay, so 1 million hectares. That is more land than we have in America. That is more land than all the land mass in China.
Oh my.
1 million hectares have been planted with GMOs, that is genetically altered crops.
Uh-oh.
Non-natural things, plants that have been altered so that they have special chemical properties. Especially tomatoes are often altered where they have weird chemicals growing in them that we can harvest chemicals that way. Corn has been altered. Certain things are called Roundup Ready plants. That's a brand name of genetically modified crops that have been designed not to be poisoned by Roundup. And there's some good things and some bad things about them. The good thing is it's normally a way to create a more sustainable crop, especially since these are way more popular in developing countries than they are around here because they're not organic, and organic foods are having a rise around here. But the downside of genetically modified crops are, one, they're not natural. So even though there's no real scientific research saying that it's actually hurting us, we don't know that it's not.
Right.
And at the same time, they can contaminate the pollen of natural crops and actually escape into the wild. Farmers have been sued in the past because GMO pollen has gotten into their seeds because of cross-pollination from insects, and then they end up growing a half GMO plant next time.
Ooh.
They spread around, and they do contaminate the gene pool for natural plants. So there's definitely downsides to GMOs. A lot of people don't like them just because it's not a natural product.
Yes.
And right now there's 1 billion hectares worldwide. It is by far the most popular thing, and people who are making GMOs say, yeah, this shows they are here to stay. That was the actual quote, is GMOs are here to stay.
Oh.
And they're trying to show that. What do you think of GMOs, Darren?
I agree with you that there's a positive and a negative. Yeah, positive, like you said, they'll last longer, be much stronger in the wild. But yeah, I also don't like the fact that I'm eating pesticide pretty much, which I know that's not actually what it is usually. But I could see where that would make people uncomfortable, being unnatural and whatnot, because a lot of that stuff is not meant to go into the human body. So...
Well, by unnatural, what it often is in genetically modified organisms is they'll have a little bit of DNA from another plant put into them. For example, tomatoes are often used to harvest chemicals that are hard to get otherwise because it's too difficult to harvest them from the plants they otherwise grow in. Tomatoes are probably the most heavily genetically modified crops. The main downside to GMOs, like I said, is that they contaminate the gene pool, and some of them are designed to have built-in pesticide or to be poisonous to certain animals, and so they're actually altering the ecosystem by killing off certain pests, allowing certain pests to grow in huge numbers because they're now unchecked by a predator insect that chewed on the wrong piece of corn and died. So they are having unforeseen effects on the environment, and I think that we should be careful, because if there's anything we've learned by looking at history, it's that humans cannot be trusted to make wide-scale changes to the environment of this planet.
Or to anything at all.
And that's what happens when you introduce a foreign species, or an altered species in this case, that acts a lot like a foreign species. You are altering the environment in a way that's really, the side effects are not necessarily known. There's no real research that says that GMOs are going to hurt us. But my concern is with the environmental aspects of it.
Right. I could see that as well. We don't want the environment to die.